Today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the Hasbro Marvel Infinite Series Marvel's Sandman. Spot took a bit of a break from looking at the other Marvel Infinite Series figures, but decided to come back because I wanted to still touch base on the Sandman figure. Big fan of Sandman in general, so anytime you can get a figure of Sandman, I am on board. This figure is one of two variants. The other variant being the Beast also came with an alternate figure. Although the Sandman, I don't think, and I'm going to be looking again at the variant version of him as well. We'll do a comparison between the two. But I don't think this figure and the variant had anything different to them other than the paint. Whereas at least Beast had an alternate head. So while I probably will reserve my opinions of the variant of Sandman until we actually open up that figure, I feel like they could have done a little bit more to strictly the variant. But at any rate, the back of the packaging reads, career criminal William Baker can shapeshift his body to clobber anyone in his way. That is also carried over by Francais, some Spanish, and another language, I'm not quite sure. Also look out for other figures. There's Hawkeye, Daredevil, and Beast. Some people not crazy about the new Infinite Series Marvel. I feel like a lot of people think that it's a scaled down version of the Marvel Universe figures. So far, though, I gotta admit, I've been pretty impressed with them. To check out more from Hasbro, you can go to www.hasbro.com. You can also go to Marvel at www.marvel.com. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up. When we come back, we're going to get a better look at Marvel Infinite Series Sandman. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Sandman out of packaging. Yes, I know you're going to say it. Spot, don't say it about the display stand. Well, he doesn't come with a display stand. Sadly, no display stand comes with old Sandman here. What you see is essentially what you get. Figure, though, is pretty good for the most part. Let's look at some of the things that I like about the figure. For starters, paint's very clean. I like the coloring of the sand. I think when they did the paint on the sand, it's pretty good. Like, it conveys the idea of sand. The only downside, though, is that he's permanently got these sand attachments. I know for the size of the figure, they probably would not have considered scaling down alternate attachments that you could swap out. This one arm doesn't bother me so much. I can live with this one arm. This boulder, on the other hand, makes the figure extremely, you can even see with the torso, makes the figure extremely front heavy. You can angle the arm down, but at the end of the day, for starters, I've got myself a loose torso. Can you see that? I don't know if some of it chalked up to the idea that he's got this big boulder, but this does add a lot of weight. You'd be surprised how much weight this gives to the figure versus if this, well, even like this arm right here. Torso, well, I guess sweater-wise, it's pretty clean as well. I got no issues there. He has the same issue that Beast has. His head is always angled down. I'm not really sure why. I thought maybe I could try to force the head up, but what ended up happening was, as you see right now, I just popped the head right off the socket. There's really no way to angle the head up. You can kind of angle the torso up, but yeah, he's going to be loose, unfortunately, in the torso. The other problem, probably the more apparent problem, is his legs. Proportionately, his legs don't make any sense. His waist is narrow, and yet his thighs go beyond the point of his waist. Now, you could kind of compensate for it by angling the legs out, but it's still pretty obvious that this waist doesn't quite gel with the legs that are attached to them. It looks off. I guess of everything looking this out of packaging, the only thing that is the most glaring for me are these legs. The paint is clean though. No issues again with the paint. I'm happy Very happy with what they're doing on the paint end of it. But loose torso, probably due to this, and the weird looking legs that he's got connected to him, just kind of awfully proportions the figure. When it comes to his articulation, he does have a ball joint in the head, although you don't really get too much up and down, more just left and right. He's got ball hinge shoulders, nice ball hinge in the joint in the elbow area. He doesn't have any wrist swivel. He does have, as I already mentioned, the upper torso ball joint, but this just seems like it's too heavy, that it's throwing his torso off. He doesn't have any waist swivel either. And it comes to his legs, he's got forward back out movement via a ball joint in the thigh, a double bend at the knee, and hinges in the foot, at least from the standpoint that you can move the feet. I also dig that his pants, he's got this kind of Shaggy from Scooby-Doo kind of pant. I like that. Maybe other people may not. Spot likes that. And again, like face, though I didn't really touch too much on the face, I like the face. Face is pretty good too. Got no real complaints there. I guess the only complaints I could make, if I could make any on the figure, is the weird legs being slightly disproportionate to the waist, and then the fact that his hands make him so top heavy. As a side note as well, many people also don't care for the new articulation. They feel like it's scaled back from like the old Marvel Universe treatment. If I could make a comment about that, I probably would say I don't mind the articulation lacking, if you consider it lacking in the new figures, because figures like Spider-Man, Spot still has one of his Spider-Man from the Marvel Universe line, and there's so much articulation that, as a good example, look at the old Spider-Man classic figures. They had lots of articulation, yes, but then years from now, you pick up any Spider-Man classics figure, and it is loosey-goosey. If that means scaling back articulation a little bit on these figures, especially the likes of a Spider-Man, and still having a pretty solid looking figure, that doesn't bother me all that much. Display stand would be yes, a nice addition. I would have liked a display stand. Sandman I like, but I feel like, especially even with the variant, because I think the arms are the exact same on the variant could have had this. I think regular Sandman I would have preferred maybe if he had just had these kind of hands. That's just my preference. Because the big ball mace, whatever you want to consider that he has, makes his torso really like loose, and he always kind of leans forward because of this weight here. Rating wise, I'm going to give Sandman, I'm going to give him a 7.5. He's a good figure, just bad decision making, I think, if you ask me, when it comes to pieces like this. This should have maybe been left off, maybe been changed a little bit on the variant. Maybe this could have been on the variant, I don't know. Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the Marvel Infinite Series Sandman. Thanks for watching as you always do, guys. Stay tuned. Spot, as he already hinted, he's going to look at the variant of Sandman. He's going to be coming your way. And, of course, we're going to be looking at the other Infinite Series figures as well. Thanks for watching as you always do. See you next time.